Alright, here we have another Zen mirror, and I want to try out some new tech that we added to the deck last night. So I'm now running 2 weakest links over Flusterfists. So we're going to see how that performs in my testing, and we'll give it a shot. So we already draw the weakest link, that's fantastic, and let me make this full screen. Just in case I clip it here, we won the die roll, so we're going to go second. And we're trying some new additions to our deck today, so namely adding weakest link as part of our cards. So here they're going to start with the Biting Breeze. We're just going to want to fill our graveyard, so we're going to block with our blue Hunterwinds. We could get punished here slightly if we draw a Transcend card and we don't have a blue. But looks like they're just going to also try to fill their graveyard, so we're going to respond with our Chase the Tail. Let's see how far they want to push this turn. Looks like they're going to do another Hunterwinds, potentially fine. So we'll go ahead and block out most of this damage and keep our weakest link in hand ideally. If they want to push Needles, we can threaten to break one of the Needles. But looks like they're just trying to Arsenal this turn. So here we see a really kind of gross hand. The play is probably just to Sacred Art, pitching Preserve, just doing the single mode Transcend, we gain a resource and we get a chi in our hand, right? Then I'm thinking that since we have the Art of War and we're going to have our Traverse and Stride set up, we're just going to go for the turn 2 kill. Or I guess turn 3 kill if you think about it. Yeah, but I think that's going to be the play this turn. I don't really see another option with this hand. So we'll go for the Transcend. I think normally it's bad to maybe try to attack with Needles this early on. Well, it is pretty, like, fine, I think. But we're going to go ahead and give them the Needles, see if they want to try to bait them into blocking, and then maybe we can get them with the weakest link. I've been seeing a lot of weakest link pop up in Zen lists, so I've been wanting to try it out. We're not going to tutor with Zen here because our graveyard's already kind of fine at this point. It's not like anything amazing, but like Hunterwinds and Chase the Tail are probably more than enough fodder for Bonds. And then we're just going to want to set up this Art of War and Arsenal. And hopefully this weakest link is actually going to be really disruptive to them because they haven't transcended yet and we're ahead on Transcend, so this is kind of just almost twisting the knife in a little bit for their hand. Looks like they're going to block 3 here, which maybe means they don't have a Transcend card. Okay, which is, again, a fine state for us because now we know what their hand is. So they reveal Harmony the Hunt, Hunterwinds, and Enlightened Strike. So most likely their play next turn is going to be Harmony the Hunt, pitching a blue, making a Tiger, and doing Dagger into E-Strike for something. So we'll see what they do next turn. But again, we're super far ahead. And then we also see Swomb here, which is potentially interesting. I don't know how much it actually does on this hand. But again, we're going to say no blocks on the Needles. I almost never block Needles unless there's a super compelling reason to do so. Like, I think our hand is so nuts next turn that unless they, like, do something crazy here, like, we're probably going to just try to blow them out. Hitting him with 2 weakest links in a row is also really solid. So they're going to do buff power as the mode here. I'm curious what their arsenal is. Their arsenal isn't a Transcend card. So we're just going to go ahead and try to get our full value here. We're most likely actually going to be, well, I was thinking we were most likely actually going to not be playing Swomb, but I kind of think that because we have the second Transcend card, it might be worth it. And maybe this will go to show the ceiling on Swomb if I draw into something really crazy. So we're going to go ahead and try to start with Swomb maybe. Because we do want to Transcend the Stir the Pot this turn. So let's go ahead and start with Swomb pitching a Chi. We'll generate 2 Tigers. And then we will Art of War, doing buff banish. Here we draw Bonds, which is fantastic. So this is, finally, I get to show everyone the ceiling on Swomb. Holy shit. Okay, it's happening. So now we get Stir the Pot, right? We gain a resource. and then we tutor off Zen. Okay. And we're getting another bonds because now we can do the fabled triple bonds turn, which is fantastic. So the only problem here with this hand is that we might not have the resources to do this chase the tail. So let's think out our play here. So we have bonds, both bonds cost 0. We need descending gust wave, and then another descending gust wave. And then we're going to finally end up on 100 wins potentially with this last card. So it's going to be descendant, bonds, descendant, bonds, descendant, bonds. Then these two reds are a little bit weird. So we probably want to end on weakest link somehow. I'm going to tell them I'm thinking real quick. So it's not exactly the most optimal swamb line, but we get to show off triple bonds, which again, people say it doesn't exist, but I'm here to tell you, swamb makes it exist. So we'll start with our descending gust wave tiger, and we'll do descending gust wave. Then we will do, we want to be able to close the combat chain so that we can play bonds. So we'll do bonds, targeting the 100 wins. Then we'll play the 100 wins, close the combat chain. Play the 100 wins, close the combat chain. I'm just making sure that I do this correctly so our opponent doesn't get upset at me. Now we close chain. We now have our bonds in graveyard, right? So now we can go descendant. Bonds. Getting our bonds. Are you starting to see the ceiling here? This is like all right, we're going to go back after this game. They're done. They scoop it up like there's no way. So we would go 5 into another 1, into another 5, into 4, into... So we have 2 floating. We can't play the tiger swipe, unfortunately, so it would probably be needle, needle. So another 4 on top of that. Into weakest link for 7. So if we walk back that entire turn... Okay, what did we do? We started with swamb, right? Then we did descendant bonds. So that would be 1, then 5. So here, I'm just going to get the notepad out right here. So 5 plus 1. Then it was 5 plus 2. So we're at 6 and 7. So 13. Then we do another descendant bonds. So that's another 6, right? Or sorry, no, we did 100 wins in between that. So the 100 wins was another plus 4. Then we did 5 plus 1, which is another 6. Then we get the 100 wins back again, right? So that's another 4 damage, right? Then we've reven 2 needles, which is another 4 damage. Then we end on weakest link, pitching the 2 reds, right? So that's 7 damage with an on hit, right? And if we go to the game log, what was our opponent at the start of this turn? So our opponent was at 33. Yeah, 33, I think. Yeah, so 33. So we did 13 plus 4 is 17, plus 6, which is 23, plus 20, plus 4, which is 27, plus, so we're at 33. So that was a 40 damage turn with no bonds in graveyard, right? So this is the hypothetical ceiling of Swamb that I can now use to convert the non-swombelievers. So hope you guys find this video entertaining. It is a very short video because it didn't last very long. And it's Swombin time. See you next time.